Overwatch is a game that caught my attention the second I laid my eyes on it. It's a bright world full of heroes and villains duking it out in a team-based contest of skill that drew me in and got me hyped. I spent ages playing it and drooling over all the designs and lore tidbits that come out, and about 12 months later, I'm still just as hooked as I was back then. I'm honestly a little bit surprised because not only has it managed to build and maintain a strong, dedicated community that's brought people together, but with all the new additions they make to the game, it still feels fresh. It's an amazing experience that, just like the hardest of core drugs, keeps me coming back for more. And more. And more and more and more and more. With the 1 year anniversary of the game's release coming up, I thought I'd talk about what it is about Blizzard's hero shooter that makes it so addictive. Today, I want to talk about why Overwatch is so fun to play. And it starts with the thing that made me, and I'm assuming most people, notice it. The visuals. Overwatch is a gorgeous and visually distinct game, boasting a vibrant color palette and cartoonish designs reminiscent of a Pixar movie. It makes the game pleasant to look at and helps it stand out from the majority of shooter games, which usually have muted colors, extremely similar character designs, usually soldiers, and an overall gritty feel. At the time of Overwatch's release, the only well-known exception to this was Splatoon, and, well, it and Overwatch are still really the only well-known exceptions. These bright and colourful games are a lot more eye-catching and visually interesting than ones full of browns and greys. This goes for its heroes as well. Overwatch is chock full of memorable characters, which is probably one of the game's biggest selling points. It features a diverse cast of characters from all over the world with all sorts of different personalities and designs. There's a big adorable Transformer Death Turd with a bird friend, an Egyptian grandmother with a sniper rifle and impeccable aim, depending on who's playing her, a sneaky cyborg ninja with double jumps and an overpowered dragon sword, a gorilla, and so on and so forth. As of making this video, there are 24 of these heroes in this bright, futuristic world that you can get to know and get attached to. I just love how every character has their own unique personality and backstory. But coupled with that, every character has their own unique playstyle. Want to just blow up everything and lay deadly traps for the enemies? Try out Junkrat. Want to just charge in, do damage, and mess with the enemy team? D.Va might just be for you. Want to hang in the back lines and support from a distance? Maybe Mercy is your kind of character. Or Zenyatta. Or if you're like me and just want to be a big giant wall that blasts through the front lines, Reinhardt's the best choice. Overwatch accommodates a variety of different ways to play into its game. This makes sense considering how much emphasis there is on team play. It lets everyone, no matter their playstyle, feel like they can play an important role in every match and genuinely feel like they've made a difference. Whether they're on the front lines trying to kill everything in sight or just trying to make sure everyone stays alive. And sometimes what roles people pick in a match can be the difference between barely winning and barely losing. The core gameplay makes it all the more tense. The main idea behind Overwatch is that you are playing as part of one of two teams trying to complete an objective. It sounds simple enough, but when you play, you realize there's so much more to it than just do the thing. You have to think about the composition of your team, the composition of the enemy team, how to counter their hero picks, what map you're playing on and what heroes work best on it, the best route to take, the best strategy to use to clear out the enemy, and so on. It's surprisingly complex beneath the surface, and being able to figure out what makes the game tick and how to use it is a satisfying experience, which becomes even better when you manage to pull off something amazing. For me, that was when I was playing a match in Volskaya and I was playing as Reinhardt, and a D.Va dropped her ultimate into the middle of the first point when my team was just about to capture it. I saw the ult drop and I just charged it right off the map, sacrificing myself so that my team could get the point. I felt like such a goddamn badass, and though I think we actually ended up losing that match, it's moments like that, for me, really nail home the insane intensity and drama that Overwatch is able to create. But Blizzard didn't just stop at the base game. For the last year, the developers have been actively adding to the game. There's new characters, new maps, new modes, and even some cool seasonal events from Junkenstein's Revenge to Uprising that bring with them fun minigames and a fuckload of awesome new skins and emotes and highlight intros and so on to unlock for each character. They even gave the players more freedom in what they can play by expanding the custom games feature and introducing a server browser. And already a whole load of ridiculous new game modes have started floating around on there. It feels like Blizzard is going out of their way to take in player feedback and make Overwatch the best possible experience it can be. At the end of the day, Overwatch is just a fun game. It's bright, colourful, interesting and unique, with plenty of characters to play around with, and so many different game modes to play in. And after a year's worth of play, I still love it, both for its visual and technical aspects, but also for its overall tone. A lot of games nowadays, especially shooter games, try to be dark and gritty and try to make some sort of statement about how cruel the world is, but Overwatch challenges that idea. It dares to be optimistic and have hope for the future. It is a world full of heroes who don't accept the way the world appears to be, but choose instead to see it for what it could be. It's an inspiring message that I hope people can carry over into the real world. After all, the world could always use more heroes. And yeah, those are my thoughts. And yes, I didn't talk about the lore or the animated shorts or comics, but I felt like there's almost too much to talk about with that, so I just stuck with the game itself. Also, I will admit, I haven't been playing Overwatch a lot lately, but that's because the internet on my PS4, for whatever reason, is just falling to pieces. Probably need to get it fixed or something, or buy a new one if it comes to that. Though, strangely, it kinda started having these problems when the Pro and Slim were released. But thanks for watching. This video should be out on Wednesday, which is the anniversary of Overwatch's release, but it may be out later. This is a very last minute video, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. There's also still going to be a video on Saturday, but that's a re-upload of a TravenTalks from the streaming channel that got blocked because, you know, Fox. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, check out my last video where I talk about my thoughts on the use of CGI in anime, and if you want to see more, then be sure to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to come fly with me. And hopefully, I'll see you later.